What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph? You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight, alright, we're coming back to Linkin Park. Yes, indeed, Linkin Park fans, feeling you. Come on now. Here we go. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all the clicks and the likes and the bibbidi bop, do me a favor, before you do all that stuff, please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, if you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Yellow Icicle, and it was also the winner of the Patreon request prioritization poll, winning with 53% of the vote, moving it from number 773 in the queue straight up to number 1. So yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, your voice, your vote does matter. They all want to see me react to this. It is Linkin Park with a tune called Waiting for the End. Now, have I heard the song before? No, I have not. To the best of my knowledge, this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, there's always a possibility I may have heard the song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, wait a minute, hold everything. Yeah, I've heard this song before. I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. This was posted by Linkin Park. Shocking. And the video has 222 million views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Waiting for the End, official music video. Wah, wah, wah.
Damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it!
Ah, yes, there's that word official coming off of their official page. Yeah. Oh boy. Look, you know what I'm gonna say, so I'm not gonna say it. All I'm gonna say is we're gonna just wait and see what happens and hope for the best. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
Like a riot rocket every revision, but you listen to the tone and the violent rhythm, and the words sound steady, some empties within them. We say yeah, with fists flying up in the air, like
not at all what I was expecting vocally.
Cause we're living at the mercy of the pain and the fear, until we get it, forget it, let it all disappear. Yeah. Waiting for the end to come, wishing I had strength to stand. This is not what I had planned. It's out of my control.
This is Linkin Park? Really? This is Linkin Park.
Hey, wait a minute.
The harmonies and the vocals, I appreciate those. It sounded good. It did sound good, and especially when they went from the 2-part harmonies to the 3-part harmonies. You had the root, you had the third, and then you had the 5th underneath. You had that inverted triad. I like that. I do like it. Not at all what I was expecting from Linkin Park, though. This is quite the departure from what I was expecting. Is that a good thing? It can be when it's done properly. What is this being done properly? Yeah, it is. I'm sitting here listening to this going, okay, if you were to put the song in front of me, just send me the link and say, don't look at the song title, don't look at who did it, just completely blindly react to the song itself. Linkin Park would not be the first band that comes to mind. It wouldn't. I don't know, maybe a band like, I don't know, Imagine Dragons or Coldplay.
What did he say?
Something like that. Along with the feel of the song, there's imitation and the voicing in the song, the vocal work within the song. I would be leaning more toward one of those other bands, not toward Linkin Park. This just does not sound like them at all. Not really their style. It's good. It's interesting. It's just, I would never guess in a million years that this is Linkin Park. Never in a million years. Let's keep going. Let's see where this goes.
Flying at the speed of light, thoughts were spinning in my head. So many things were left unsaid. It's hard to let you go. I know what it takes to move on. I know how it feels to lie. All I wanna do is trade this life for something new, holding on to what I haven't got. Sitting in an empty room, trying to forget the past. This was never meant to last. I wish it wasn't so. I know what it takes to move on. I know how it feels to lie. All I wanna do is trade this life for something new, holding on to what I haven't got.
What was left when that fire was gone? I thought it felt right, but that right was wrong. I'm caught up in the eye of the storm and trying to figure out what it's like moving on. And I don't even know what kind of things I said. My mouth kept moving and my mind went dead. So picking up the pieces now, where to begin? The hardest part of ending is starting again.
I saw that drop coming.
All I wanna do is trade this life for something new, holding on to what I haven't got.
This is not the end, this is not the beginning. Just a voice like a riot, rocking every revision. But you listen to your tones in the right of the rhythm. Words sound steady, some memories within. We say yeah, with fists flying up in the air, like we're holding on to something that's invisible there. 'Cause we're living in the mercy of the weight and the fear. Until we get it, forget it, let it all disappear.
This is a weird one. This is definitely a weird one. I don't know. I didn't think about this. I really need to think about this because I'm not 100% sure how this is going to go. Let me get my thoughts together. I'll see you in the review and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was Linkin Park with Waiting for the End. This was a request from Yellow Icicle, and it was also the winner of the Patreon Request Prioritization Poll, winning with 53% of the vote. Moving from number 773 in the queue straight up to number 1. So, yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, your voice, your vote does matter. This is a weird one. This is a weird one. Let me give the score first. I think that's probably gonna be the best way to go. Let me give the score first, and then we'll talk about everything and how we came to the score. It's a journey. Strap yourselves in. This is going to be quite a bumpy ride. Let's start with the score first. On a scale of 1 to 10, I am going to give that a 6.1. Yeah, 6.1. Believe it or not, that is the score I feel the song deserves. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay, first things first. How did we get to that 6.1? Well, a 6.1, okay, let's talk about what a 6.1 means first. A 6.1 would equate out to a pretty good scale rating, so it's a pretty good song. It's low on the pretty good scale, but it is still getting a pretty good scale rating. It'll also equate out to 3 out of 5 stars and a B- letter grade. So you got a 6.1, pretty good scale rating, 3 out of 5 stars, and a B- letter grade. Now, how did I come to this score? So glad you asked. This is going to be a journey. I'm going to preface everything by saying, look, what I'm going to be saying here is opinion, okay? If you're going to get mad and upset about my opinion, I don't know what to tell you. I really don't. You might want to seek help. That's number one. Number two, I'm also going to preface by saying this. Did they do anything wrong? Did they play anything that sounded bad? No. Nothing sounded bad. Nothing sounded wrong. So I don't want anybody getting the idea that I think this was a horrible song and things like that. No, look, if this was a horrible song, we'd be down the ones, maybe zeros. But they didn't do anything wrong. They didn't do anything bad. It was just weird. The instrumentation, no guitar, no drums, no analog drums, no bass, no analog bass. Everything we heard, I am almost 100% positive, everything we heard was digital. So there's that.
What do you care?
Now, am I 100% sure about the digital? I'm not 100%, but it sounded digital to me. Now look, could they have taken analog drums? Could they have had an actual drummer there playing drums, and then in post, taken all the drum hits and substitute them with digital patch? Yeah, they could have. At that point, why bother? Why bother with analog drums? It's almost a waste of time to have the drummer go through that process if all you're going to do is replace every single tone with a digital tone anyway. The reason I'm suspecting the drums were digital is, and I'm going to rely mostly on the snares and the cymbals for this. Every single snare hit sounded the exact same. The attack was the same, the tone was the same, the duration of the reverb was the same, everything was the exact same. There was no variance. And the same thing can be said for the cymbals. They were the exact same. Every time you heard the ride, it was the exact same. Every time you heard a crash, it was the exact same. Every time you heard the hi-hat, it was the exact same. There was absolutely zero variance. So that's why I'm suspecting it's digital. Now, like I said, could they take the drumming, have an analog drummer come in and lay down the parts, and then within Pro Tools, take every single hi-hat and replace it with a digital hi-hat. Take every single snare hit and replace it with a digital snare hit, so that way everything sounds the exact same every single time and you get that consistency. You can, but again, why bother? Why bother having an analog drummer in the first place? It doesn't make sense. Just do the programming in Pro Tools, which is what I suspect was the case all along. Same thing for the bass playing. The bass playing did not sound analog at all. It sounded completely digital. And look, I will give credit where credit's due. When it comes to Pro Tool usage and programming with Pro Tools, it takes skill to do that. Absolutely. It takes dedication. It takes discipline. It takes knowledge. It takes experience. And I will give all the credit in the world for the programming that is being done. Sure. But am I going to sit here and say that the bass playing was amazing? No, because there was no bass playing. It was bass programming, you know, and that's, I'm sorry, it's just two different worlds. I mean, here's the thing, though. Again, did they do anything wrong? No, it's not wrong to do that. That's just my own personal feeling. I'm not big on digital. As far as the chordal progression goes and the melodic lines go within the song, everything made sense. They didn't do anything wrong. They didn't play anything that sounded sour. They didn't play anything that sounded bad. They didn't play anything that sounded wrong. Everything sounded fine. It's just digital, you know? And it's just like, well, whatever. It is what it is. But, you know, I'm not going to take off points for the digital when they didn't do anything wrong within the chordal pattern and the chordal progression. So that all sounded fine. Impressive? No. Very easy chordal pattern to follow. Very easy melodic lines to follow. So I'm not gonna sit there and blow anything out of proportion. Instrumentally, from a purely, here's that word, instrumentally, like the chordal pattern, the chordal progression, the melodic lines, everything sounded okay. I mean, it sounded fine. It was all right. It was okay, but nothing I'm gonna sit here and say is great or mind-blowing or fantastic. So you're probably wondering, well, if it's just okay, then how do we get a 6.1? Because realistically, musically, I would give this around a 5.3 or something like that. So how do we get a 6.1? Vocally. I mean, vocally, I gotta say, the vocals, I would dare say, were great. I would dare say the vocals alone were great. And the reason I'm saying that is this. We had solo lines, we had 2-part harmonies, we had 3-part harmonies, and they were always interjecting with each other. Sometimes the third voicing was there, sometimes it wasn't. Sometimes the second voicing was there, sometimes it wasn't. Sometimes all 3 vocal lines were together, and sometimes they weren't. But vocally, I gotta say, the vocals were the highlight of the song here. Now, maybe, possibly, that was the intention of the entire song, was to make the vocals the highlight, to make this a vocal showcase. If that is in fact the case, congratulations, you did it. You accomplished what you set out to do, and you really showed off and showcased the vocal performance here. Between the main vocal lines and the harmonies coming together with the third and the fifth underneath to create that triad, that, well, it's an inverted triad, but still a triad nonetheless. It sounded really nice, guys. It did. And I gotta say, I would even go as far as to say that they did a great job with the vocals. Having said that, though, will that bring up the score? Yeah, absolutely it will. But I don't know for sure if that was the entire point or not. So I'm going to play it safe here a little bit, and I'm going to say, listen, the vocals did a great job. They definitely raised the stock of the song in my eyes, okay? But I'm not going to sit here and go that the song was amazing, because I don't think it was. I really don't. I don't really see anything other than the vocals I think they did a great job on. Even great is not amazing. So I'm not going to blow things out of proportion. I'm not going to elevate things up higher than I think they should personally go. And that's why I'm giving it the pretty good score of 6.1. Not okay, pretty good. All right, so without the vocals, though, this would be down in the 5s, low 5s, like 5.2, 5.3 range. So the vocals definitely helped out quite a bit, getting us up into the 6.1s. So yeah, 6.1, I feel good about that score, and that's where we're going to stay. Like I said, if this was a blind, completely blind, like I didn't know that this was Linkin Park, if I just had blinders on and someone said, listen to this, tell me what you think, the first band that pops in my head is not Linkin Park. It's around one of those other bands like Coldplay or Imagine Dragons or something like that. Much more along those lines, you know, but Linkin Park would not be my first guess. This didn't sound like Linkin Park at all. But in any case, it's still getting the pretty good score of 6.1. That's where we're at, and that's where we're going to stay. So let's wrap everything up here in a nice shiny bow, shall we? We got a 6.1, which is a pretty good scale rating, 3 out of 5 stars, and a B- letter grade. Take your pick, I don't care, whichever one of those floats your boat. Final word, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hopefully I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, well then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for tonight, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.